Hey everybody, today we're going to be talking about the parts of a guitar. Now for you beginners, it's very important that you understand each part of the guitar, because in subsequent lessons when we talk about different parts of a guitar, you really need to understand what we're talking about, isn't it? So let's get straight onto it, but before we do that, let me help you understand that we are talking about the parts of an acoustic guitar today. This is an acoustic guitar and we're talking about the parts of an acoustic guitar today. Now, some of the parts are quite similar to that of an electric guitar, but not all of them are, okay? Now, let's get on straight to the top of the guitar, which is the head of the guitar. Now, this is normally known as the head of the guitar, this section over here, and it is also known as the headstock. The headstock comprises of these silver keys, as you can see here. We have 6 of them, 1 for each string. Now, the keys are known as tuning keys, or machine heads, or tuning heads. People have different names for them, or just tuners simply. The tuners basically help keep the string in tune. You would be able to rather control the pitch of the string by simply tightening it or loosening it like this. So that's loosening the string, or tightening the string would be turning the other way around, until you reach your desired tuning point. Next, you have this cream white color part on the guitar, which is known as the nut. The nut's job is to keep the string in place. So this is the nut once again, and the nut has 2 important jobs. The first is to elevate the strings over the next part of the guitar, and the second is to keep each string in place. You might be able to notice that each string has an assigned spot, and that is possible only because of the grooves on the nut. So the strings fall into the groove and stays in place. The next part of the guitar is known as frets. So these vertical columns on the guitar are known as frets, and this has a very important job in giving you different pitches and different sounds on the guitar, and we'll get into further details into that aspect a little later in subsequent lessons. The next part is the neck, which is this board over here. The board that holds the frets is known as a fretboard. So the vertical columns are frets. The board that holds the frets is called a fretboard, or in general terms, the neck. Next is the body. So we have the head, neck, and body. Now the body has the sound hole, which is the most obvious part of it. The sound hole is where the magic happens. Resonance is created in the sound hole to give you the outputted sound. You have this black thing over here. Many of my students always, especially beginner students, they always feel that it's just a design that guitars have, but it's not just a design, it's known as a pick guard. Now this is a pick that I'm holding in my hand. This basically is used to strum your guitar. It gives you a very clear kind of a sound. So when you strum your guitar, what happens is that when you finish strumming the last string, you inevitably move forward and you hit the body of the guitar. So to avoid scratching the guitar, you have the pick guard. So when you strum, you hit the pick guard instead of scratching or marking your guitar. Moving forward, we have this end over here, which is known as the bridge. The bridge is the end of the journey of the strings. Now, this bridge is very important to keep the strings in place. So the bridge has 2 parts. The bridge comprises of the saddle, which is the white part on the bridge, and you have these 6 pegs, 1 for each string. Now the saddle has the same job as the nut as we've seen earlier. Now the saddle elevates the strings and keeps them in place. And these pegs, known as the bridge pegs, make sure that the strings stay in place so that you can play your guitar. So now you know the different parts of an acoustic guitar. In our next lesson, we'll be talking about the different parts of an electric guitar. So stay tuned for that, and I'll see you in the next lesson. You've been learning with Leander.